In February 2022, the war in Ukraine had just erupted and explosions lit up the sky like firecrackers gone wrong. In the middle of all those chaos, hundreds of Indian students were trapped in hostels and bunkers, clutching to their backpacks and praying for a way out. That's when Narendra Modi of India made his move. Between February 24 and February 28, 2022, he dialed Vladimir Putin of Russia and placed a request. Give us a small window, please. We need to bring our children back home. Putin instantly agreed to pause the fighting on select routes just long enough for Indian teams to rush in, grab every student they could, and race them to safety. For those few hours, the long standing Indo-Russian friendship peaked and the battlefield went silent exclusively for India. And that silence saved lives of not only our Indian children but also those of Pakistan and Bangladesh. In this video, we'll have a glimpse of 5 instances when India and Russia prioritized their friendship over geopolitics and the Western pressures.
Hi, hello, vanakkam, namaskar. Welcome to POV World from Bharat YouTube channel, World through Bharat lens.
Number 1. Operation Sindoor. After the Pahalgam attack in Kashmir, when tensions escalated between India and Pakistan, Bharat launched successfully the Operation Sindoor. It was the Russian-made S-400 air defense missile system that shot down Pakistani drones and missiles which were targeted towards Indian cities. The BrahMos supersonic cruise missile played a crucial role in destroying Pakistani military targets with pinpoint accuracy. Named after the Brahmaputra and Moscow rivers, BrahMos stands as a shining example of the Indo-Russian synergy. The Russian-made Sukhoi fighter jets formed the backbone of Bharat's air power during Operation Sindoor. The Sukhoi jets, along with Rafales and Mirage jets, helped our Indian Air Force to demonstrate how modern precision warfare works. On the diplomatic front too, while US President Donald Trump insisted for de-escalation and peaceful resolution between India and Pakistan, it was Russia that publicly backed India's right to respond to terror attacks and expressed solidarity with India in its fight against terrorism. Number 2. India's neutral stance on Ukraine war. With respect to Russia-Ukraine war, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar have repeated that India is on the side of peace and not war. India also says that it would support any feasible and mutually acceptable solution that brings lasting peace. While the United States of America and the European countries have condemned Russia as the war aggressor and also have adopted various sanctions on Russia, Bharat, on the other hand, framed itself as the peacemaker rather than a supporter of one side. In fact, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was the only world leader who could discuss peace with both Russia and Ukraine since the war started. India had also abstained on several United Nations votes condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine. India's neutral stance was shaped by decades of deep cooperation and relationship with Russia. However, we could see that in recent times, the Western world led by USA seem to soften their stance on Russia and are trying to do a balancing act. Number 3. Modi-Putin bromance at the SCO. At the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, that is the SCO summit held in China this year, the personal rapport between the leaders of India and Russia was in clear display. This display of unity came amidst of tariff threats to India from the US for buying Russian oil and also amidst of the continued rants from the US against India and the Indian Prime Minister. Absurd statements and illogical statements, in fact, from US top officials like Ukraine war is Modi's war. India is laundromat for Kremlin and Brahmins are profiteering in India. Statements like these two did not stop further strengthening of Indo-Russian relationship. And this powerful photo during the 45-minute carpooling of Modi and Putin at the SCO became another proof of the stone-hard relationship between the two leaders. Thanks to US President Donald Trump, who started this carpooling strategy with Putin at the Alaska meet to prove his good relationship with Russia and its President Putin. Just a month later, the Russian president used the same carpooling strategy to showcase his relationship with Modi in China. At that time, there was a conspiracy theory doing rounds in the media claiming that a joint Indian and Russian intelligence operation had foiled a US linked, that is the CIA linked assassination plot against Modi in China during the SEO summit. And Narendra Modi riding with Vladimir Putin in China was seen as Putin's security first gesture to Modi. However, there are no official evidences to support this conspiracy theory. Also, shortly after returning from China, Modi, while addressing the Semicon India 2025 conference, had jokingly said, "Are you all clapping because I went there or because I returned?" which left the audience in splits.
जापान और चीन की यात्रा करके वापस लौटा हूँ। आप गया था इसकी ताली बजा रहे हो कि आया हूँ इसकी ताली बजा रहे हो?
Number 4. India continues to buy Russian oil. Many Western countries imposed sanctions targeting Russian oil exports and cutting or limiting their purchases from Russia. However, India had significantly ramped up its imports of Russian crude oil. Because Russian oil was selling at a steep discount compared with global prices, it became economically attractive for oil importing countries like India. India's purchases did not just continue. In fact, they increased compared to pre-war levels. While the West sought to economically isolate Russia, India's energy trade with Russia continued to prove an economic cushion to Russia while also helping India secure a cheaper energy from Russia. A win-win solution for the time-tested friendship. When India was slashed with Trump tariffs as a penalty for buying Russian oil, the Russians showed their support to India by opening their markets to Indians and Indian businesses and also expanding Indo-Russian trade. Thanks again to Trump for bringing the historic relationship even closer. Number 5. Modi-Putin Summit 2025. Russian President Vladimir Putin landed in New Delhi last week for his first visit to India since the start of Ukraine war. He witnessed a red carpet welcome by Prime Minister Modi, followed by a private banquet dinner by the latter. From discussing regional and global issues to signing MOUs and defense contracts, the summit-level meeting between the two of the most powerful leaders of the world grabbed worldwide attention and became a global talking point. As always, Bharat's warm reception for Putin and the Russian president's strong voice of support to India against Trump's tariff threats sends the proof of the time-tested friendship to the rest of the world once again. Russian President Vladimir Putin did not attend the G20 summit held in South Africa last month as an arrest warrant has been issued against him by the International Criminal Court, that is the ICC, and South Africa being a member of the ICC, Putin could not land in South Africa. However, India is under no obligation to act on the ICC warrant because it has neither signed nor ratified the treaty that grants the court its jurisdiction. When two of the most powerful leaders meet, could it end without any conspiracy theories? The answer is no. One theory doing rounds in the social media now is that the Indigo Airlines crisis, which just coincided with Putin's India visit, was a deliberate attempt by the West to suppress the magnitude of the impact of Modi Putin summit. However, this is just a baseless conspiracy theory connecting two unrelated events. Whatever said and done, Putin's visit to India gives India a clear edge, a cheaper energy, stronger defense ties, and a louder voice of global south on the world stage. At a time when big powers are fighting, Bharat shows that it can talk to everyone and still put its own interests first.